Oh man, of course, fucking my internet's gonna start acting up immediately. Wild. Man, Takis give me heartburn.
Hey, Raiders.
EA jorts. Wife, get in photo. Also, everyone, I want you to know my hair isn't normally this much of an issue. So, you know, like when I have my fucking headphones on, you know, that holds it back. But also, normally my hair is parted to the other side. However, because I got hit by a semi-truck, I have a pretty severe head wound on my, like, the, what do they call it? The left occipital region of my scalp.
The brain bits.
No, the brain bits are fine. Now I have, I'll be honest, been a little bit moodier since. But I think that's just traumagenic. What do you guys think?
Give us professional medical advice that you are legally liable for.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Please do that. I will say I am entering 1, my irritable era, 2, my evil era, and 3, my don't give a shit era. I will say things don't matter to me anymore.
Man, these wrestling eras keep getting weirder.
God.
How much thread is too much thread?
Ask the fates. Yo, I can't answer that one. Have I considered trying yoga? Well, I do meditate already. You know, like I've been meditating for a while. God.
Oh, it was so funny. I mentioned some of my focus problems I've been having to my father before the accident. And he asked, do I meditate? For like the symptoms of my ADHD. And I do actually, and I'd be like, well, I do. Don't think that's the best solution to this specific problem.
But we do already do that. Okay, let's get my painting out. Let's start doing things that we're actually that's at least visually entertaining. Although I guess like plenty of people watch streams that are just chatting.
That's true.
That's true. People do like to hang out, and I gotta say, I'm a pretty rad person. Like, I've met all of my friends, and my friends are very rad, and so like I guess I gotta be at least 20% as rad as them, right? Or else they wouldn't hang out with me. And, like, even 20% of being, like, as rad as some of my friends is, like, plenty.
When I finally complete that tunnel into their rad minds, and we can steal all their coolness, they will only be 20% as rad as us!
Like, it's a fucking... Like it's radiation.
I hope it's with radiation you were talking about. Otherwise, stealing these uranium's gonna be really awkward.
And to anyone from a 3-letter organization, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I do not possess any physical material.
I actually, literally had a nightmare recently about finding, like, it was a canister that had once held plutonium at the school that I worked at.
Fucked up janitorial problem.
It was like in my dream. This was a dream. Fucking, it was a purposeful like attack on the school. It was wild. I was like experiencing hate crimes in my dream.
You should have dreams that are less stressful.
I would love to not have stress dreams, baby. That would make me very happy.
Or like, have more relaxed stress dreams. My stress dreams are just about, like, exams and performances where I haven't had any of the music memorized.
Oh, yeah, no, mine are about, like, being queer and working in education. You'll never fucking guess why.
It's because of all that fissile material you handle.
In my pockets. So, like, but, okay, so, like, I found out about the like, container in my dream, right? I found out about it, and, like, everyone was acting like it was not a big deal. So I had to, I basically had to decide to just go outside and, like, put it in my trunk. Actually was what I did with it. And then I drove it to the woods. I, like, put it in the middle of the woods, walked to the outside of the woods, and then, like, called some government agency? I don't even know. Who would you call it? EPA?
Yeah, I think the APA would be a good bet.
I think for some reason in my dream it was the CDC, but like, I don't know, it's a dream. They're not known for making the most sense.
Can't believe your dream doesn't properly understand the delegations of the various departments of the executive branch.
God.
Get good.
Ow. Oh, just a second. I was sitting.
What if you went to a psychologist because you were, like, disappointed in the accuracy of your dreams?
I think they would diagnose you with autism.
Just show up and be like, hey, I don't have, like, a major issue, but my dreams are really unsatisfactory in their, logical consistency. Can you help me with that? I feel like the therapist would bite if only because, like, they want to find out what's actually wrong with you. There is obviously something wrong with you because of that string of words that just came out of your mouth. Okay, by the way, what I'm doing right now is, I am, mixing in some of my mineral spirits, with the paint to help thin it, because that's, you know, mineral spirits is a paint thinner, hence why it is used to clean brushes. I taught you that.
This paint is fucking particularly goopy. And it gets goopier, like, the more I work with it and open it. And so, you know, like, not to bitch about a paint by numbers kit I got for $5 from the Michaels, but I do gotta say it's not very high quality. I will say, once we start getting some fancier paints, oh, you know what, we're tanking, oh, shit, I just got something on my fingers. Where did my mouse go? Might be tanking.
I ate it.
Let's see. I'm going to close out some of my tabs. Oh, my tonguey hurty.
Hope it's not the stew. I don't think it's
I don't think it's a stew. I think it's my medicine. I just took my
right,
medicine.
you just took your medicine. No, that makes a lot more sense. Sorry,
oh my god, this paint is still so goopy. Like, I feel like this stream is just going to be me mixing mineral spirits into this tiny little paint thing. You can't see it. What's up, love?
Oh. I don't know. Oh, nothing.
Wait, oh, okay. I was just curious why you moved your mouse.
So I can scroll my directions, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, May, by the way, is bookbinding.
Hi.
Which would honestly probably be, like, more entertaining for y'all to see right this second. Well, however, we'd have to, like, move everything around, you know?
Yeah, I can kind of show some of it off. Like...
Yeah, you can show it off step by step, especially while I'm, like, mixing this.
Here is my covers. They're not punched yet. Going with purple and black. And to go with the covers, I was considering whether to use black thread or blue thread. But I decided on this really lovely royal blue thread.
Yeah, here.
It's going to be tough to show off the camera.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Without getting all tangled. So I decided to go with this navy blue thread.
Just a second. There we go. It's a little bit sparkly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go well with the other colors of the cover. You want to show it off all together?
Yep, and the color mode switched halfway through so they could see it with, like, incandescent and then fluorescent lighting.
Interesting.
God, I'm trying to be careful with the mineral spirits while also letting y'all see a little bit of what's going on. But, fuck! And then I dropped my paintbrush.
I need to hop off of screen for a second so I can punch some holes in these covers.
Okay. I could maybe scoot and you could do it over here, but not while I'm painting.
Let's not worry about that right now. Oh, we're not on camera anyway. I keep thinking that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because you have the camera down.
I have been thinking about... I was thinking earlier about moving my setup over to the other desk. We have, like, a crafting desk, which I think would be really nice. It's got, it's kind of a mess right now, so I don't want to show it off, but it's got, like, a built-in, like, 4x4 little cubbyhole thing. So, like, it would be a really great place to, like, store a bunch of props, as well as, you know, crafting materials for when I'm streaming. I just think...
Consider making that our gaming table also, like, when we have friends over.
Oh, yeah. But then we have... You could use this desk for your computer, and we could use that desk for when we have friends over, since that one's, like, foldable plastic. You know what I mean? So we can, like, move it around, put it where it needs to be.
I wonder if I should maybe switch with you, and you can have your computer here, and then you can run your camera to the desk when you need to.
No, because we don't want the cord like that. Plus, remember we were thinking about setting up the fucking curtain?
I think it's still a potential option.
Room splitting curtain? You're right that it is an option, but the camera cable being in the way, like, if you wanted to go to the bathroom, is kind of like a non-starter for me.
Here's what I think we do. We get a USB extension cord. So we can run
Don't you think that would chug the quality of my camera?
Not much, I don't think. Not typically. It's not a very long, like... It's not a long distance. Like, a 6-foot USB shouldn't terribly affect quality as long as we don't get, like, a cheap Walmart one.
Yeah, are you about to go off on your white woman fucking rant about Walmart brand
I'm not gonna
stuff?
go off on a rant about it. I'm just gonna say, at Walmart, you get what you pay for.
You don't get what you pay
No,
for.
actually, you
I'm
don't.
gonna go on
Actually,
my white woman fucking tangent about it. Okay, I have white women in my family. Sorry, that was one of the funniest things I ever fucking said. Christ alive. I am so fucking happy I'm not white.
Are you gonna go off on the rant or not?
Just don't buy shit from Walmart that's the Walmart brand fucking electronic shit. It's all shit. It's all bad. And then returning it is a fucking nightmare. And they won't let you do an exchange. They won't let you open the box to test if shit works in store. So, like... Anyway, we bought a monitor from there and it didn't fucking work. I was so pissed. So anyway, don't go to Walmart. Go to anything else. Like, nothing's sponsoring me. So I don't want to say go to this or go to that. Just, like, don't go to Walmart for an electronic.
Go to a local electronics store. I'm not sure if any of them still exist anymore. But if you find one, go to it. It probably needs the love.
They do exist. I have seen them. They generally have something else attached to the business, like computer repair.
Right.
Which is, like, harder to find out in the sticks. So, like, you know, there's that. But it's literally, in my experience anyway, and I grew up in rural East Texas, it's generally, and I've been back there a couple of times as an adult. No need for condolences. I'm dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to put words around these feelings other than, like,
it's a thing.
It's so tiring. I do fucking love Texas.
You want to say the comparison?
I'm glad you recovered. Fuck. Yeah, that's about it.
Do you want to give them the comparison you told me earlier?
I forgot it. Can you remind me of my earlier cleverness?
Too. Dragon Age.
Oh yeah. I love Texas the way I love Dragon Age. It's shit, But there are little glimmers. There are little pieces of it. I see the potential.
And if someone else is mean about it, hey, that's my shit.
Like, they're not mad about it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? People aren't mad about Dragon Age or Texas for the right reasons.
You don't understand how bad the elf politics are.
You don't understand how bad the elf politics are. And also, you don't get that people are racist as shit in the North, too. You know? Everyone rags on Texas because, like, oh, it's full of a bunch of racists. And it's like, no, it's full of a bunch of low-class people. And that's why you think it's racist.
Go off.
You know? And there are blue bonnets on the side of the highway that would take your breath away. On the side of the fucking highway. It's illegal to pick them. People take that to heart. People don't fucking pick them. They grow them in their own yards. It's illegal to cut down pecan trees. You have to get permission from the city council, and they don't hand that out.
Yeah, these are probably in far enough.
You know better how to bookbind than I do.
You don't want to do them too far, or else the page will be sticking out the edge of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Hole placement.
Hole placement is very important.
Just ask a legislator. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit like kids, could you lighten up, but about myself.
If you want an honest answer, you should ask a budget analyst.
God. But only off record.
Oh, yeah. Find a good retired one, maybe.
Yeah. I don't want to, like, dox your father.
No.
But we did want to play, Democratic Socialism Simulator with him.
But if you need a good policy budget analyst, get in touch.
We do know a guy.
Do you know a guy?
So, I'm using it's a very small flat brush, like, here it is compared to the size of my finger, and I use that to mix in the mineral spirits, and I keep that brush mostly clean, so that I can use the, like, little bit of mineral spirit residue that's on it to, like, clean up any mistakes that I make, since I have a white background.
Oh, that's really clever.
Thank you. It is... The white background is like a self-imposed issue too, because I wanted this painting to look better and like more poppy at a distance, because I want it to be in the background of streams eventually, like once it's done.
Alright, you didn't just use a normal white either, you're using a special like ceramic white.
Yeah, it's a ceramic white. Let me see if I can, yeah, this is...
It really catches the light.
Yeah, the background is supposed to be a dark purple. The dark purple is supposed to be the lining, and the sort of negative space of it. But, and obviously, in that case, you would do it last, because it's a dark color. You kind of want to build, you do light colors first, and then you can, put dark colors over them, because it's a lot harder to put light colors over dark.
Yes, which would make it easier to do, because then you could fix the background with the dark color.
Yeah, so, like, it makes sense to make the lining the darkest color. However...
You're not a fucking casual.
Well, the purple makes it harder for the colorblind to parse, and I want people who are red-green colorblind to... like, I can't make everything accessible for everyone, but I can make it accessible for Leica.
Aww.
You know? Like, I'm sorry if you're like a deuteranope, but I'm working to make sure that this is like protanope safe.
I hope there isn't infighting in the colorblind community.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. That's like such niche politics, and
Yeah.
I'm like not actually colorblind, though I play someone who's colorblind on the internet. The character of the Sealy Court blog is colorblind.
Maybe we should ask like.
I don't know if there's necessarily like a colorblind community, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. It would be like a subset of the disabled community.
Well, I suppose you have a lot of similar things to, at least commiserate about.
Okay, and I'm probably, this is probably actually some politics that people have brought up, because I know law of large numbers and everything, but like I'm sure people are a little miffed that like certain types of colorblindness are, like red-green colorblind is the most commonly known. God, frames have been absolutely tanking. I'm sorry that this is so choppy on like viewers' ends. There's nothing I can do about it. But I remember back when I used to watch Bean, and she had this internet. It was like, man, fuck it, I'll deal with it. Unfortunately, we have the best internet available in the area, unless you're like willing to, unless you're a business or willing to pay like literally absurd amounts of money.
Yeah, we're not getting Google Fiber out here anytime soon.
Yeah, and I can't, like, it's catch-22 of like, I can't justify the expense until this is already a full-time gig, you know? Like, if I were a professional streamer, I could justify the expense. But, like, am I going to become a professional streamer if I don't have good internet? Who's to say? I don't think it's impossible. I don't.
But it is a little bit of a catch-22 right now.
It's just something I'm working with. Appropriating Leica's culture. I guess. It's just one of those things. You can make a character that's disabled without having that specific disability. I know that you aren't a fucking weirdo, Inks, but, well, I mean, you are, but you know what I mean. But, like, no, I did make this character with Leica's blessing, and, because the character is colorblind, it makes me constantly think about, like, I've definitely gotten better about when I do, like, alt IDs, making sure to describe colors if it's necessary, as well as just, like, in my art, I've gotten a lot better at, I actually taught, like, I sat down and learned how to do values before you do colors, which was something I'd always kind of meant to get around to and then never did, but now I actually do it because it's something that's really important for me to think about.
Being considered to actually make you better as an artist.
Yeah. Wild.
I wonder if there's some sort of lesson that like someone could learn from this.
Like, literally thinking about someone else's viewpoint. Lol.
Think of all the comedians like, I can't be nice if I want to be funny. Like, maybe you could be funnier if you were nice.
I gotta say, it is pretty fucking funny of me that I'm, like, running a blog about working with the Fae despite not working with the Fae, with a character who's colorblind despite not being colorblind. I will say there are some similarities between me and the character, but, like, I won't go into them too much, but, like, she is...
Massive schlong.
Massive schlong. Massive non-binary energy. And being, mixed Choctaw. Although she's specifically Greek and Choctaw. I am...
By merit, you're... Well, got a little Greek in you.
Had a little Greek in me. This paint is so chunky, y'all. It's like the consistency of like cream that's starting to turn into butter.
Did it even instruct you to necessarily thin your paints, or was it just
No,
expected to use them?
it said to make sure that you close them tight as they start to like dry out really quickly.
Yeah, no. That's why, even if something tells you not that it doesn't expect you to thin your paints, in general, you should thin your paints at least a little bit, just to improve consistency.
For this one, I'm having to thin it a lot. And I feel like it might be because I've like used this color before. I think this is the first time that I've used a different color. Although I will say, I do think just this color is particularly chunky. Lying on the internet for fun and profit. Yes, I will say I think it is very funny. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It tickles me so fucking pink. I might be like one of like maybe a dozen motherfuckers who gets paid to pretend to be a furry. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. I know what you're all thinking, right? Like, no, you're not pretending. You know, like you're just kind of like in the furry closet. Here's the thing. I've tried to sit down and like design a fursona. I can't do it. I can design fursonas for my OCs, as has happened with the character of the Sealy Court official. But for me,
do you know what I'm thinking? I think you get better rates for it.
Right?
I think the other people who do this on the internet for money get better rates for it.
Well, hey, you know, I'm just starting out. I'm trying to make this gig pay.
We are not opposed to a Renaissance style patronage situation.
Oh my god. We have been meaning to set up the Patreon. We just wanted to wait until we had the podcast started, and we can't start the podcast until I write at least 5 episodes of it, because I'm not stupid.
Also, when you do a lot of recording and edit.
Well, yeah. But, like, I'm not even gonna start, like, making posts about it. You know what I mean? Like, right now, the most I've got is, like, a tag that's, like, podcast insp. And that's it.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, so, like, I got this, and this is really reminding me of, like, Southwestern Native American art now because of the colors I picked, and I'm trying not to get in my head about it.
Huh. Yeah.
Like, meaningfully different. This doesn't look like that. Like, it looks like it could look like that, but anyway. Sometimes the heart yearns for the familiar. Maybe that's why I feel so nostalgic. What's the podcast going to be about? It is going to be a narrative sci-fi horror game loosely based on the Lancer campaign that May and I co-GM. We use the Lancer system, but it's actually our own setting, so, you know, it's not like we're using, like, the Lancer setting. I feel like that would be a little bit, like, I don't want to toe... It feels like a weird line to toe between a narrative and, like a play. Because you could do, like, a podcast where you're playing Lancer, and that would be, like, fine.
Certainly, I'm sure people do. I hope someone does.
It's
a good system. It probably is better for streaming than for a podcast, though, actually. I know there are streamers. There's a lot of visual stuff going on.
Well, yeah, like, you can go join the Discord, and, like, there are people that have, like, dedicated channels in the Discord for their campaigns. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, it's gonna be a horror podcast. The main setting of it, like, is going to be a research station on an asteroid approximately 500 to 1,000 years after the fall of, like, the human galactic empire, depending on how you count it and how far away from the event you were. Because, you know, time's a little wonky when you've got FTL.
Basically, the fall of Earth.
Yeah, the fall of Earth. And what kind of fills the narrative niche of the Union from Lancer. which is like a sort of semi. It's kind of like they got the biggest military, so no one ever fights. Hey, Mockingbird, thanks for the follow. I've seen you in my notes recently. And I noticed your URL. Did you know the mockingbird is the state bird of Texas?
Oh, neat.
It's also a very common state bird. I think there's like 6 states.
It's a pretty cool bird.
I also miss mockingbirds.
Aww.
Jays remind me of them, though.
Jays are nice. Oh, okay. Progress report. They got holes in them.
Baby, you gotta hold it still.
Use this one. It's better. You can actually maybe see through it.
Baby, you gotta hold it still. Okay. You're so funny. You keep like,
You
showing
are
off
an
with, like,
adorable
this little
organism,
gay
aren't
flourish.
you?
What am I saying?
Oh, okay, that's sorry. I have my headphones plugged in, and so I only heard like a little bit of that, and I thought it was caveat somehow, because like the very beginning of the Ortis line coming through my headphones just kind of sounded like caveats, like cadence and tone. Mockingbirds nesting in your attic. Shut up.
Aww. Alright, I'll start with this cover. Do I want this to be the front cover? Yeah, I think this will be a good front cover. Look at the other one.
I still got that song stuck in my head. Christ. Like, it just keeps starting and restarting and starting and restarting in my head. Hold on. I'm gonna plug my headphones into my... I'm gonna go get my phone so I can listen to that song.
Alright, ignore your beautiful fiance.
I'm not gonna ignore my beautiful fiance. Did I not hear what you said? Is that what happened?
No. You're gonna put on headphones, so you won't be able to hear me.
No, it's not that I'm not gonna be able to hear you. I just need to listen to that song. It's,
Which one?
It's the Two Door Cinema song. The like What You Know or something. I think that's what it's called. Or What You Want.
Call it what you want.
No, not the Foster the People song.
That's the Foster the People song.
I can tell just what you want. You don't want to be alone. That one. I made you listen to it earlier today.
Yes.
Two Door Cinema Club, What You Know. Yeah, okay, I was right the first time. It apparently came out 12 years ago, so let me do some quick math. Hold on. Oh, Christ, I was in high school 12 years ago. I'm so lucky to be the age that I am. Anyway.
Thank God for not being in high school.
Oh, baby, no, I was trying to avoid calling myself old, because I'm not old.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to be alive.
Same.
That's not even, like, a little bit of a joke or anything. I am so happy to be alive, y'all. I wish I could give some of it to other people, because I don't need this much.
The joie de vie is too high.
Honestly, like, it's the opposite of ennui. You know?
Yeah.
I love doing stupid shit. I love being alive just so that I can use oxygen. I love the process of breathing.
Okay, this is so funny. The middle of the first signature, where I'm putting the very first knot to stop it, is the end of the threshold.
Huh.
It's the point where if you continue reading it, you have begun the initiatory process. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm binding up an initiatory text. It's full of magic spells.
You know, if you sing songs too well, your Twitch VOD will get muted. I've heard that that's happened to people. I hope that doesn't happen to me. I don't think I'm that good of, like, a singer. But...
It must mean, like, okay, I mean, it makes sense that the algorithms they have searching for this are not, like, the most advanced. They only look for, like, a single melody, and they aren't actually, like, searching for, like, any other...
Well, I think they might use the same thing as, like, that, one of those fucking apps that, like, does the, like, what song is this technology? You know what I mean? I don't know, though. Henry gave us live crabs as a first course of Fey Court D&D dinner and somehow did not anticipate I would decide that the crab was my friend now. Has Henry never met you once in his life?
Yeah, whenever there is an animal presented in an RPG, it might be adopted by the players. Regardless of danger, domesticatability,
man, honestly, this song was ahead of its time. Along with Foster the People, that shit was better than we knew back then. We thought that shit was cring. It's just fun. Oh my god, y'all. One time, one of my kids... I used to work in a 5th grade classroom, and one of my kids was, like, talking about Fortnite and, like, going off on, like, this whole fucking spiel about it, the way that 10-year-olds do about a game that they're really interested in. And the cool kid in class said to him, "Fortnite's kind of mid." And I said, "Dude, your behavior today has been kind of mid." And he, like, went to his desk and sat down and, like, rethought his life quietly for a few minutes.
Little man reconsider his
I
whole life.
literally didn't mean it. There's a reason I said your behavior is mid, not like you're mid. I don't know. Oh my god, it was... He retroactively realized that was the only option. Ooh. I can't imagine. I wish I knew what was going on in his little head. I wish I could have somehow divined that. Although, that reminds me, though, one time I was helping, they say you're not supposed to have favorites, but I definitely had favorites, and this little girl was one of my favorites. She had, like, she was...
If you're a substitute, I feel like you should be allowed to have
Yeah. She had, like, long, curly red hair and, like, this sort of, like, cocky, like, asshole attitude. She thought she was the coolest bitch in school. She kind of was.
Aww.
But, like, you know what I mean? But she was also, like, still very awkward, and, like, you could tell that she was gonna have, I don't know how to say this other than, like, I was pretty sure that she was gonna have a girlfriend in middle school, you know? She would, like, say shit like, "Oh, I'm a pathological liar." She was my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Weird little girl growing up. Anyway, I was helping her with her math work, and she was, like, getting the wrong answer, but I said to her, "Look, I know exactly what's going on inside of your brain, right? You see these 3 steps, and you're like, oh, I can do all 3 of those steps, and you do all 3 of them in your head, but something goes wrong. Just do them step by step on the paper, like a nerd, and, like, you'll get the right answer. You know, it's not that you're dumb, it's just that the steps gotta be done, okay?" And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "No, I can see the process going on in your head. Like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to crunch all 3 numbers." And she looked at me like I was bonkers. But
you were such a good paraeducator.
But I was right, because that was absolutely what she was doing. I was like, why hold the numbers? You can just write them down. There's no points for not wasting paper.
I had to be taught that lesson also.
I know you did. I also did.
Oh. It's the ADHD, huh? Or is that something all kids try to do? I don't know.
No, it's gifted kid syndrome. Child fucking annihilated. I'm still waiting to pull some, you know what's really cringe? Making fun of others. I'm like, I've got that one locked and loaded. You know, there's just no name written on that bullet yet. Do you want to do one more signature and then we can play a round of Cook Serve Delicious? Or are you like in a rhythm?
I can do a round of Cook Serve Delicious. This is just my first signature still.
Yeah, I know. I that's why I asked about at the end of the next signature.
Okay, it's not the end of this one? Yeah, okay. I see.
Yeah.
The end of the second signature.
Oh god, that is a north-south divide thing. Next means the one after this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, so this Friday is like this upcoming Friday.
Yeah, of course.
Next Friday is the Friday after that one.
Yeah. No, that is how it is.
All math in head or die. No, stop holding the number. Just put the number on the paper and it'll be there in a second. It's not a fucking race. Because you know what you're going to do when you're done? You're just going to do more fucking math. Just, you know, there's no need to rush. Math behind my back, just saying. Now I'm listening to Call It What You Want by Foster the People. Which, oh my god, me and May quote that each other all the time. We quote the line, what's your style and who do you listen to? Who cares?
It captures a singular feeling so well.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Who gives a flying fuck? Saying, what's your style and who do you listen to? Who cares?
We need to listen to Sound and Fury.
Oh god.
Or it's time for a Sound and Fury rewatch.
Well, we have roommates to watch it with now.
You're so right. They are required to watch this.
It is required reading.
It's the best thing on Netflix.
Oh my god, there's a cat tapping on my hip. Oh, it is time to feed them. Have they been fed?
I have not fed them.
Would you mind, just because, like, I've got camera?
Yeah, no problem. Mind if I get to the end of the signature first?
Yeah, she's just rubbing on my leg quite fervently.
I can actually stop after this hole.
That's what they all say, but, you know, they all keep coming back.
Ayo.
Oh god, we were thinking about adding, like, a monetary goal for streams. That would be, like, monthly, but it's like you're allowed to flirt with streamer. You know? Where would you put that line, you think, for, like, monthly donations?
50 at least?
Oh god, you're such a cheap whore. I was thinking more like 253.
That's probably better.
I don't want them to meet it like every month, you know. I might raise it eventually if this does end up going pretty well, but you know, I don't want to count any chickens. By the way, everyone, I absolutely encourage you to lurk. I encourage you to go play video games. I encourage you to work on your own knitting or crocheting or perhaps sharpening of knives. Haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry, caveat. What do you mean, did you manifest in my consciousness? Did I say something that was particularly caveat-like? Or you talked about earlier when I, like, heard your voice, it was because, it was because I heard a notification, my follower notification through my headphones, and the beginning of it kind of vaguely sounded like you had somehow joined a Discord call and were talking through my headphones. It just kind of caught me off guard. Oh, now I'm listening to your favorite Arctic Monkeys song. Just to say one of, like, 3 that you even like, maybe.
I'm not as Arctic Monkey critical as you think I am. They're
Am I
fine.
overplaying it? Because, like, I'm pretty sure you just think that they're eh.
That's
like,
true.
they're not mid, they're eh, you know?
I am... yeah, I guess so. I had to make that sound about them, so... I think that's... I don't dislike them.
The coats all piled high.
They're a band I would love to hear on the radio more.
Oh god, yeah, especially over who Aerosmith.
Oh god, I could hear a lot less.
Fuck
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. Oh my god. They want what the Rolling Stones have so bad, and the Rolling Stones are kind of okay.
When will the Arctic Monkeys become retro, out of curiosity?
Literally the day they came out.
Ah!
Watching an L play Darkest Dungeon with Henry and Benny, and I'm on your phone overlaid with your knitting pattern. What? That's too much.
Are you okay there? You having an alright time?
That's too much. Put, like, 2 back.
That's like an amount of overstimulation one would use to enter a trance state.
I literally would rather be waterboarded. I fucking...
Do you think I should experiment with overstimulation to induce trance?
No, because it'll be fucking obnoxious.
I've heard of people using music to cause overstimulation to the point that it induces trance.
I get so irritable when I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, but I don't.
Is
Is that not true? Is that not true? Did I tell a little lie about myself?
I mean, it depends on your perspective, I guess.
Am I making up fibs?
No, you simply are limited by your own experiences of yourself, and you'll never see yourself from the outside, baby love. Well, I guess until you master astral projection.
I'm working on it.
Or sometimes in surgery I hear that happens. That's how I dream, generally speaking. Kind of out of body.
Fascinating.
But I always see myself with, like, well, not always, but I usually see myself with the long blonde hair that I had when I was, like, in middle school. So, like, psychoanalyze that.
Freud. Get in here. Get in the chat. Sigmund.
I don't know, like, my hair just never really updated in my mind's eye. Sometimes I do have my undercut, so there's that. But it's generally the wrong color. I guess that's a curse of being a Ramona Flowers-ass bitch, though.
Would you ever redye your hair blonde, do you think?
I'd rather go with, like, bleached than just blonde. I need to flag. I need everyone to know that I'm blonde on purpose, that this is a sorry, I almost said something that's not allowed on Twitch. This is a gay thing.
You want a certain amount of camp to any of your looks.
I need people to know that I'm here. I am homosexual. You know what? I'm worried about...
What?
I was worried about the, like, big paint thing getting in the wet paint, so I cut off this one cup.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say, I kind of consider these, like, late-night crafting streams be kind of like late-night radio.
This is a podcast, but you're kind of just listening in on me and my girlfriend, but we know you're listening in.
Podcast is like too much of like a like that's not like not quite the vibe, you know. This is the vibe here is you were like scanning the radio station. You found a weird college radio station,
and we're here.
We're here.
I might be listening to jazz in the background. You can't hear it, though.
I would encourage you to put on your own music.
Yeah, I would encourage you to put on Sergio Simpson's Sound and Fury. It's available on Netflix. You should go watch that and, like, just...
Come back?
If I ever say something that overlaps, because, like, let's be real, I only ever talk about, like, 6 things, and most of them are covered in that album. Let me know. I tend to be a nexus of coincidences.
Do they get into Gnosticism in that album?
Do they get into Gnosticism? I mean, if you stretch hard enough, anything's within reach.
Even heaven itself.
You just gotta be violent enough to get there. What do you think, babe? Do you want to ascend the spheres with me? Become irrevocably corrupted by the power that we wield once we get there?
Wouldn't have it any other way, darling.
Do you want to aim to break a cycle? And in the end, only perpetuate it? Or do you think that you can stay ideologically pure and shatter that which has never been shattered despite its thousands of attempts? What do you think, Icarus?
I think change is inevitable.
I hear it's the only constant. This is what Night Vale wishes it was. That's a high praise. Christ blushes.
It's too high praise.
We're just two gays that shared an edible before stream. Oh man, speaking of Night Vale, I wanna marry you.
Yeah. Can I share our bachelor party plans a little bit?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So, neither of us want to have a party without the other one there because we're each other's favorite person. And if we were at a party where the other one wasn't there, we'd be like, man,
I miss my wife.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have a joint bachelor party, but it's gonna be a bacchanal. We're planning to rent out like a couple cabins in the woods, or maybe just I can borrow a lot of tents if we're willing to do tents. If we can get
kind of depends on the crowd.
Yeah, we'll see about the crowd. Invite a bunch of our friends out here.
Cause like I know Leica has like a bum leg, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what the crowd wants to do.
Not always. Not all of our friends are able to camp all the time. But yeah. But like then, if Leica can't make it, because lives in a different part of the damned country.
Well, like I said, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
we'll have cabins, we'll have tents.
Cabins
whatever.
or tents.
We're having a big bonfire. We're gonna have wine. We're gonna have other intoxicants.
We're gonna have Mardi Gras beads so that we can tell what you're down for generally.
We color coded, like you'll have like, let's say like green for intoxicants, purple for wine or like alcohol in general, and gold for sex, I suppose.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's an opt-in thing.
And then we might need to add another color for how into pagan spells are you?
White. also would use blue instead of green.
Yeah.
Kind of depends. Cat!
Kid, you've just been fed. You've really just been fed. What are you whining about?
Oh, the cabinet's open a little bit. She hates that. She literally...
Better?
Sorry about that noise. Sometimes I gotta clean off the brush because, like, the paint starts, like, gooping in between the bristles and it makes it harder to control it. And then sort of, like, I feel like the fresh coat of
Taking a brief break from
mineral
bookbinding
spirits,
to pet this cat.
like, helps make the paint that much more pliable. Though I will say, y'all can't see it, but it's kind of like doing that thing where it's not filling in the gaps in the canvas right now. Very frustrating.
Are you going to do a second coat, you think?
I don't think a second coat is going to be necessary. It just takes me, like, another pass. I just try not to move on until the segment I'm working on is to my liking.
So you got full coverage. Kitty,
Aces?
I closed it.
Do you want catnip? Is that it? You know what? That's fair, I guess. That's the only other thing she could possibly want, and generally if I give her some, she chills out, so... Is this what you want? Yeah, she's standing on the scratching board.
Little stoner